Ibadallah. All praise due to Allah, His praise and blessings and peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I bear witness that Allah is the only one worthy of worship, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam His last and final messenger. My dear brothers and sisters, a few or 2 weeks ago, I spoke to you about happy husband at home. How can our sister ensure that they will have a happy man at home? And today is your turn, men, to talk about the other side of the coin, the other half of the family, the other important component of this beautiful relationship that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have Himself made that tie between both of you and your spouse. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ جَعَلَ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Among His signs that He have created for you from among your souls a spouse that you can dwell in tranquility with them and live in peace and harmony with love. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً and mercy. The Prophet ﷺ said, أَرْبَعٌ مِنَ السَّعَادَةِ. 4 things among happiness. أَنْ يُرْزَقَ الرَّجُلُ امْرَأَةً صَالِحًا. That the person will be among 4 things among happiness. It will ensure a happy life for you. As I said 2 weeks ago, that happy husband means happy family. And a happy wife definitely means a happy family. أربع من السعادة. 4 things among happiness that bring happiness to your life. To have a good wife at home. A good wife at home. A good wife, as the Prophet ﷺ said. And this hadith just mentioned about the happiness is reported by Imam Ahmad rahimahullah. And also the Prophet ﷺ said, as Ibn Majah reported in his Sunnah, مَا اسْتَفَادَ الْمُؤْمِنُ بَعْدَ تَقْوَى اللَّهِ. There is nothing can benefit the male believer. The male believer. After taqwa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing can benefit him more than خَيْرًا مِنْ زَوْجَةٍ صَالِحًا. Better than having a good wife, a righteous wife. إِنْ أَمَرَهَا أَطَاعَتْهُ وَإِنْ نَظَرَ إِلَيْهَا سَرَّتْهُ وَإِنْ أَقْسَمَ عَلَيْهَا أَبَرَّتْهُ وَإِنْ غَابَ عَنْهَا نَصَحَتْهُ وَأَوْ حَفِظَتْهُ فِي نَفْسِهَا وَمَالِهِ. The Nabi said a woman that if he asks her to do something, she will be cooperative. She will obey his order. And if he look at her, he will be pleased by the way she looked. And if he asks her and asks her by Allah to do something, she will fulfill his oath and promise. And if he, in his absence, definitely she will protect his honor and his wealth. Wow, that's so great. In another hadith, قال ألا أخبركم بخير ما يكنز المؤمن. Do you want to know the best thing, the best treasure that you can ever possess? Because Islam allowed, they came to ask the Prophet ﷺ, as Al-Azim Abadi said in relation to this hadith, that the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, you give us a permission to possess wealth and to have treasures, keep treasures at home? هل يؤذن لنا بالكنز نكنز الذهب؟ فأذن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لهم بذلك وأذن الله لهم بذلك ما داموا يؤدون حقه. And Islam allowed us to possess gold and to keep gold and to have treasures as long as we give what? Zakat and the sadaqah from. Then the Prophet ﷺ saw that the companions started doing that. Then he wanted to tell them about the best treasure that they can ever possess. أفضل كنز تكنز في حياتك. It's not the gold and the silver. Not to have a large fat account in the banks. No. It is what the Prophet ﷺ said, أَلَا أُخْبِرُكُمْ بِخَيْرِ مَا يَكْنِزُ الْمَرْءُ الْمَرْأَةُ الصَّالِحَةُ. The best treasure that you can ever have is your wife, that righteous woman. She is, as the Prophet ﷺ described her, a treasure. That something should be cherished, something should be honored, something should be looked up to. In Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also said, Man a'anahu Allah, whoever Allah helped him to have or to marry a good wife, Allah have helped him to to fulfill half of his religion. يعني نص الدين. That's how the Sharia looked at it. It's not like what we hear some people say. You know, it's literally the Sharia says they're incomplete until they get married. But this guy was saying, I was incomplete until I got married. And after I got married, I was completely finished. That's not what it is. No, it is the other half that is missing, that marriage is supposed to be the thing that adds to you. It's complete. My brothers and sisters, as I said today, it's about having wife. It's about a good husband who knows how to win the heart of his wife. Do you think is it true what they say? That the secret of a happy wife remains a secret? I don't think so. Is it true what that woman said? I never knew what real happiness was until I got married. But then it was too late. Is that true? I don't think so. Could be the case for certain people, but I don't think that's what it is. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made this relationship and described it in a very unique way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that there's love and tranquility and peace. Make it something natural that the person looking for getting married. That's the norm to be married. هذا الأصل is not to live single. That's why النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم كما قال ابن عباس كان خير هذه الأمة وأكثرها نساء. He is the best among this ummah and he was married. That's why Ibn Mas'ud said لو لم يبق لي في الدنيا إلا ليلة ما نمت تلك الليلة عزبا. Ibn Mas'ud said if I only have one night left for me in this life, I will not rather to spend that night single. I would like to fulfill that other half of my deen by getting married. This relationship, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about it, هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنَّ. They are like a garment to you. Like a garment to you. And when you think about a garment, you think about the clothes that you wear. You think about something that suits you. That's something that covers you. That's something that beautifies you. That's something that brings protection to you. That's something that beautifies you. When you think about a garment, you think about something so close to you. The things that next to your skin, so close to you. You think about something so private. And that's the nature of this relationship between you and her. So when the Quran speaks about this relationship and describes it with this beautiful description, this beautiful metaphor, by saying that you're like a garment to them and they are like a garment to you. قال الله تعالى وعاشروهن بالمعروف. Live with them with ma'ruf, which is what is known as good. And this is so unique, what is known as good. That means what is known according to the culture. Because in some culture, that's known as good enough, but in other culture, maybe that's not enough. I remember a case I had. A mother-in-law came to me and she said, my son only responsible to, you know what, a handful of barley every week, and she gets a certain amount. And I said, where do you get that from? She said, I have the books. I'm a student of knowledge. She's not, but she's became just absolute knowledge for the sake of her daughter-in-law. She's angry at her. She's my son only required to do this. That's what the fuqaha said in the old days. Handful of barley, you know, a skin, water skin, fill it up with water, and that's about it. And one dress every season. I said maybe that's what is known in the past, 1,400 years ago, 1,200 years ago, but not today. That's not how the standard of living is today. The ma'ruf, which is known as good, is completely different. And this ma'ruf, what is known as good, has nothing to do with only materialistic issues. Good also goes to things beyond the materialistic things that you provide. goes to what is known as good when it comes to treatment, to behavior. وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ. Your spouse, your wife should expect from you exactly what you expect from her. If you demand something from her, she should expect the same from you, the same treatment. فَإِمْسَاكٌ بِمَعْرُوفٍ أَوْ تَسْرِيحٌ بِإِحْسَانٍ. If you hold her, if you keep her with you, you should hold into this relationship while you are doing what is known again as good. And if you let her go, be even extra good to her. قال صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم in one of his last speeches, he said, أنا أستوصي بالنساء خيرا فإنهن عوان عندكم يعني أسيرات عندكم. He said, I command you, I order you to treat your wives good. To treat your wife good. They are basically in your house. It's like, he used the word awan, which means literally like a prisoner, like somebody you have, tightened her to you through that marriage. When a woman gets married, she became in that, she tied it to you through that connection which is married. So she loses a part of her, what we call kind of freedom, because now she has responsibility, duty towards you. So don't take advantage of that. Don't abuse that right that Allah has given you as a husband. So let's share some points that you can practice it today. And I know some of you are single. And you're going to say, how can I relate? And I said, hold into these points. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala soon give you the wife that you wish and you deserve. Maybe you'll grow up soon to be also a married person. And don't say, oh, Sheikh, come on, that's another one of these talks about be good to your wife, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what Allah said in the Quran. إِن يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا. If both parties have the intention to make peace, to make a change in their life, Allah will grant them success. Don't say, oh, it's not going to work out. I give up on that. Don't ever give up on a relationship. Because it's always possible to reignite that relationship, love again. Don't be like the person who said, Sheikh, I don't love her anymore, I want to divorce her. I said, why? He said, Sheikh, I don't love her anymore. I said, you remind me of someone who said, my car ran out of gas. So instead of refilling the gas, he said, I'm going to sell the car. No, go refill the gas. You can refill that. You can reignite that relationship. You can keep that relationship warm and good. And these some points that I hope that you will take them seriously and try to practice them. And we all should take that. Any points that we raise here, and someone sent me an email as a feedback about my khutbah. I said, Sheikh, isn't it too many points you mentioned in khutbah? And I have my philosophy for that. I'm not expecting everybody to remember the 10, 15 points, but I always mention these because it's very vast, different points, and everybody can relate to 3 or 4 of them, grab them and focus on them, and that will be good enough for me. That's just my philosophy in getting 10 points or 11 points, so you can relate maybe to 3 or 4 of them. This is something I can do. Because I don't think every point we share, everybody necessarily will be able to do it. One, which is an interesting, I'm going to be very practical on this point. How to win your wife's heart. How to make her happy. One, dress up for your wife. It is so sad that so many times we don't even pay attention to this. And I start with this because not many people pay attention to that. When they go home, they wear the worst type of clothes to their wife. They just go through their, nice clothes and just wear that old junky pajamas, or his boxer, or whatever he's wearing, and it's just not at all looks presentable. Ibn Mas'ud, Ibn Abbas was seen before he entered his house, taking the perfume out, putting perfume in his beard, fixing his beard. So that his student said, Ibn Abbas, الرجل يتزين إذا خرج لا إذا دخل. Ibn Abbas, people dress up and put perfume when they leave, not when they enter. قال ألا أحب أن تتزين لي? Don't you want her to be dressed up for me and smell good? He said, absolutely everybody would like his wife to do that. Then he said, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ. If we demand this from them, they should expect the same from us. So that's one thing you can let her feel like, you know what, and I tell you, something, you do it and come back to me and tell me. That your wife one day was surprised that you go and change your clothes and all of a sudden you're wearing a nice shirt with a tie maybe and a nice snack pants and your wife will say, where are you going? I'm not going anywhere, I just want to dress up for you. And come back and tell me how big a smile she had on her face. And you just make her happy that you're dressing up for her. Also, number 2, try to use a cute, the Prophet ﷺ, one of the ways that make his wife happy, he used cute names for his wife. Give a nickname, nice nickname. Wallahi, sometimes you will be surprised, some people, they have worse nickname for their wife. One guy like that, okay, he had in his phone, he called his wife, for example, Guantanamo. The communist. Believe me. But I know someone who had in his phone, his wife put her name in the phone basically in a very cute way. He said, First Lady, you know, my love, something like that. Give her a nice nickname. You know, call her with a good name, cute name. Kind of name, you know, Ya'ash. وإذا الحميراء, because she has a very red cheek. رضي الله عنها وأرضاها. Number 3, don't treat your wife like a fly. And what I mean by that, don't treat her like a fly. When you guys notice the fly in the room, when it starts bugging you and bothering you, that's when you get irritated, that's right? Don't ever treat wife like the only time you recognize her existence in the room when she starts bugging you, when she starts irritating you, when she's nagging on you. No, recognize her before she starts bugging you. Give her that attention that she wants, that she needs, and see how this will be so effective in the relationship. We never think about fly in our daily life until it bugs us. A wife will do well all day, which brings no attention from the husband until she does something annoying or start bugging the guy. Then after he recognizes her existence. That's not right. That's not fair. That's not going to make her happy. And if she's not happy, you're not happy. Most likely. Number 4, and this is a tricky one, but I want it to be area, patient with me a little bit. Don't pick on every mistake she makes. It's a very bad habit that you think that you can correct everything in one place. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said, إن المرأة خلقت من ضلع أعوج وإذا أردت أن تقومه كسرته وإن كسرها طلاقه. And this hadith, a lot of people think it is humiliating woman or disrespect woman. And in fact, no, the hadith Sahih Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ said, women are created from the rib. Allah created Eve from Adam's rib. And that's so cute, by the way, to be created from the rib. They say that she was not created, for example, from his feet, so you not step on her, not from his head to control him. It is from his rib, the closest things to his heart, side to side. And the Prophet ﷺ said the rib is different. The rib is basically is not straight. He doesn't mean that she is crooked or bad. No, he means that she is different. So women, sometimes they see things in a different way. They calculate in a different way than the men. So the man, if everything goes against what he used to, what we think as men, and you see she does it in a different way, and you try to correct, to pick on it, to correct it. In this case, I'm telling you, the Prophet ﷺ said, in this case, you will end up divorcing this woman. You cannot live with her like that. But you have to understand the difference between men and women. Maybe that's in itself need a whole khutbah about how men think and women think, how differences. I call them different species, kind of. the way they think. There's a big difference between men and women. And this is very important for those young men and women about to get married. Because one of the biggest problems I always see, we try to treat them the way we treat men. We expect them to behave like the way men behave, or think, or react. No, there is a different ways, and it doesn't at all make any kind of disrespect to her or make you weak or better. No, just a different ways. Different ways of thinking, reacting, and so forth. Also, so you need to let little things go. You don't pick on. But if there's something haram, no. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when one of his wives said she backbited someone, he said, no, this is ghibah, it's backbiting. Haram is not haram. And he forbade her from that. Injustice done, you don't basically let it go. You make the correction, but make sure that you remember what the Prophet ﷺ said, مَا كَانَ رِفْقُ فِي شَيْءٍ إِلَّا زَانَ وَمَا نُزِعَ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا شَانَ. Gentleness and being gentle and easy in the way you handle things will always bring success. Will always allow you to achieve success. But if you're mean, if you're aggressive, if you're tough, that's not going to change things. Number 5, smile at your wife. Aisha said, Ya Rasulullah, أكثر الناس تبسما داخل بيته. He the one who used to smile the most inside his house. Smile a lot to your wife. Look at her in her eyes. Gazing is a powerful tool of making the connection between you and her. You know, have an eye contact. Smile at her. Embrace her. So often. In Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, before he leaves, he used to kiss his wife. Before he left to the salat. Yani that's 5 times a day. Before he leaves salat, he will give her a goodbye kiss. That attention again makes a huge difference in her life. Number 6, thank her for all what she does for you. This is something we forget to do. We're not very grateful. Make sure that you thank her for the meal. Thank her if she cleaned the house. Thank her if she did something good to you or to the kids. Thank her for being a good wife to you. Thank her for her being a wife to you. And say that I'm grateful to Allah to have you. Make her feel that you acknowledgement. That's what will make her feel so happy and so special. Don't let anybody else thank her more than you. Number 7, which is a very interesting point, and I hope that you seriously go and do that today. I want you to go to your wife and to tell her, or text message her, before you leave Salat today. Text message her and tell her, I want you to send me the 5 things that I have done recently and you like it the most. 5 things I have done and it really had a good impact on you. Share with me 5 things made you so happy. I hope the answer will not be your text message. I hope there's more than that text message to make her happy. You know, ask her to write down. And let's say she said none. Tell her, okay, how can I make you happy? Tell me. Because it's about her, it's not about you. It's about her, not about you. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أنا لك كأبو زرع إلا أني لا أطلق. I am to you like the way Abu Zar loved his wife. But I will never divorce you like what this man did. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يرزقنا وإياكم السعادة ويرزقنا وإياكم الزوجات الصالحات. أقول ما سمعت أستغفر الله لكم. Alhamdulillah wahdahu wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dahu wa ba'd. So we said dress up for her, use cute names for her, don't treat her like a fly. If you see something wrong, little things go, comment on things which have to do with the haram, unacceptable Islamically, in a gentle way, smile, gaze at her while smiling, embrace her often. Because love has to do with physical touch. That's one of the language of love. Also, thank her for all the good things that she does. And ask her to write down the last 5 things you did for her that made her happy. Then go and do them more often, again and again. Number 8, don't belittle in her desires. And this is something very important. Her desires can be different than you. Anything your spouse thinks it is important, it is an important thing. Even if you don't see it important. Even if you don't see it important. And so many times I fall in that trap. My wife will say something, I say, oh, it's not that important. And maybe it's the biggest things in her eyes. It's about her, it's not about you. So you can talk, don't even belittling her desire, what she wants. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to ask the little girls to come to play with Aisha because he knows that she loves that. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw Aisha interested in the Habasha, the young Abyssinians men. They were in the back of the masjid dancing and with the spears, and he noticed that she wanted to look at that. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam allowed her to do that. And he facilitated that for her. You know, anything you think that your wife is interested in, make sure that you give it attention as well and respect it. Respect her feeling. You know, when the Prophet ﷺ once, his wife, you know, she had the Prophet ﷺ with guests. So one of his other wives sent food. So that wife got so jealous. Why would she send food to my house on my day and have I should cook for them? She went and she hit the plate and the plate fell on the floor in front of the guests. Can you imagine that? You have a guest in your house and your wife will do that. Then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam smiled and he said, she is jealous. Just give your sister another plate of yours. End of the story. He understands her feelings. Don't play with her feelings. Don't ever belittling her desires and her feelings. Some men are so good in teasing. I'm not going to say they are so bad in teasing. So bad in every time you bring up, hey, I'm going to marry another one. I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to do this. Don't hate people's emotions. Maybe it means nothing to you, but it means everything to them, especially your wife. Be humorous and play games with your wife. As simple as that. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam arranged twice with Aisha. كانت سودة, the Prophet Prophet's wife, تضحك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ويضحكها وهي كما سحاب الليل. They used to laugh and joke and she has known of good sense of humor. Even one day she had the sauce of the food and they were playing and they paint each other's face, her and one of the other Prophet's wife, and watching and he was just joking with them. They will joke, they will have fun, they will play together. And the Nabi ﷺ said after Isha, if there is any 3 things deserve to stay for them, it will be one of them. They play together, they have fun together. Maybe get the Wii at home and play together. You know, maybe you bring her in the masjid, back at the masjid, we have a big gold table, air hot. Maybe bring her play there again in the masjid. Do a competition between each other. You know, kids, it's a spring break, isn't it? Let's have some fun. I'm going to compete with you. Maybe I will cook one day, you cook one thing, and we'll see whose cooking is better. Maybe creative. We do some activity together as a family. I will bring happiness. Number 10, always remember the words of Allah's Messenger. The best of you are those who treat their wives the best. And I'm the best among you to my family. Reported by Tirmidhi. The best among you, those who are the best in treating their wife. And that's why I'm saying, remember that every act of kindness, it's a form of reward. Even the food that you put in her mouth with your hand, it is a form of sadaqah that you will be rewarded for it. Finally, be faithful and loyal to your wife. Be faithful to your wife. The Prophet ﷺ is the best example for being faithful. Aisha radiallahu anha wa ardaha, she said, I have not felt jealous from any woman like Khadija. Even though he married me 3 years after her death. I never met her. I never met her in my life. I only heard about her. But he loved her so much, even to the extent after her death, when the Eid al-Adha comes, he will kill the sheep and he will donate from that meat on behalf of her after her death. And he will donate from it to her friends. Once Hara, the Prophet ﷺ's sister-in-law, Khadija's sister, she came, she said, how are you doing? How are you doing? كيف أنتم? كيف أهلكم? He heard her voice, his face changed. Aisha was so jealous. You can see the big smile on his face when he heard her voice. He said, she reminded me of Khadija, my wife. He still, after her death, make dua for her. Very faithful. Then she said, Aisha, Ya Rasulullah, I'm just wondering. She was a very old woman, lost her teeth from being old, and Allah replaced her with beautiful young wife. Why are you still so connected to her? وإذ بالإجابة عندك الشهد قال يا عائشة ألا تعلمين أن حسن العهد من الإيمان. Yeah, Aisha, don't you know that being faithful, it means it's part of our faith, part of our iman. Being loyal, that she is someone she can count on you. You're not threatening her every single day, or every other week, or every other month. Brothers and sisters, let me leave you with this. They say women need a lot of vitamin A. Attention, appreciation, affirmations, affection. Just remember that. Never forget to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make your marriage successful. I don't find a problem to quote one of the brothers here in this community, that he taught me great lessons once. From our lesson. Maybe he's listening to my hope. He said, Sheikh, my nature of job, it's a very tempting job. I have so much fitna. I go to people's house. I've been in positions where I've been seduced literally by very beautiful, rich women. And I've seen a lot of my life. He said, there's one thing always kept me after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala straight, and not to look to the haram. He said that my love and my relationship with my wife is so strong that he said, I've been married more than 20 years, but the way I look at my wife, I desire her, I desire exactly the same way I desired her 20 years ago. I said, that's impossible. He said, Wallahi, Shaykh, even when we're intimate together. Then I said to him, how? What's the secret? He said, Shaykh, Wallahi, I don't remember ever I prayed Isha or Fajr unless I said my sujood, oh Allah, make me enjoy my wife to the max. Ya Rab, matta'ni bi zawjati, Ya Rab, ij'alha qurrat ayn. That's exactly his words. And he said, it's amazing how the relationship, and he said, I think it's not because many things, because of that dua. So don't ever underestimate the power of dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bring tranquility and peace. And it's part of the dua that Allah taught us in Surah Al-Furqan. هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ. Make our wives and our children cool to us, satisfying us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make our wives and our family قرة أعين لنا في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم اجعلنا من السعداء. اللهم أحينا حياة المؤمنين وامتنا على الإسلام يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. فرج هم المهمومين وفك أسر المأسورين واقض الدين عن المدينين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم وسلم على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين وقوموا للصلاة يرحمكم.